Good morning, and today we're going to talk about the Millennium Development Goals, and I just want to touch on those, and then I've posted a report from 2012, the United Nations Development Program, on where we stand with those goals. Just a little background. In 2000, some 189 nations got together and formulated these goals, and there's 8 main goals, and they call them the DG8 goals, and they're pretty broad-reaching. The first one was eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. The second was achieve universal primary education. Then third, promote gender equality and empower women. 4 was reduce child mortality. 5 was improve maternal health. 6 was combat HIV/AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. 7, ensure environmental sustainability. And 8, develop a global partnership for development. And as I said, those are pretty far-reaching. There's a lot of statistics on those. They'll go through that in the report. And then the report also, as I said, gives you an update on where we are. And the current Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, wrote a foreword, and he touched on some things. I'm just going to read them to you. This is in the foreword on the report. The target of reducing extreme poverty by half has been reached 5 years ahead of the 2015 deadline, as has the target of having the proportion of people who lack dependable access to improved sources of drinking water. Conditions for more than 200 million people living in slums have been ameliorated, double the 2020 target. Primary school enrollment of girls equal that of boys, and we have seen accelerating progress in reducing child and maternal mortality. So the UN and the UNDP feel like we're making progress on these development goals. One of the things that was going to help reach these goals was each one of the countries were given a target for expenditures on international development. I'm not sure any of the countries have reached that goal, and the United States is well off the mark. That'll be in the report as well. Finally, he says projections indicate that in 2015, more than 600 million people worldwide will still be using unimproved water sources. And that's interesting in itself, because while that says 600 million people will be using unimproved water sources, that means they're getting it straight out of a pond or straight out of it's an untreated source. But there are also many more that are getting water from wells that are untreated, and getting water from other sources that are also untreated, but the sources of water are containment or man-made. Almost 1 billion will be living on an income of less than $1.25 per day. So 1 billion out of 7 billion people are still living on $1.25 a day, and you might consider that poverty. I guess it depends on how you want to look at poverty. Hunger remains a global challenge, and biodiversity loss continues apace. Greenhouse gas emissions continue to pose a major threat to people and ecosystems, and those were 3 of the main challenges that he still sees as the major problem. So hunger, biodiversity loss, and greenhouse gas emissions, they feel are sort of the strongest points. So please go ahead and look at that report. It'll give you an overview of the Millennium Goals. The Millennium Goals are a way for 189 nations to try to look at the major problems. Again, one of those was sustainability and sustainable development. We'll be having a little discussion on the Millennium Goals this week.